Jolan Troon, welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and we will continue with our little Ops 61 Plus series, where I talk about what changes once you go to Ops 61 and higher, and there are a lot of changes in this game, and one of them is another refinery. You probably have seen this refinery in your list. It's the Sigma-Refinery, which says Sigma Resources, but when you open it, if you're not on that level yet, it will be empty. But now it's not empty anymore because you see a lot of things in here. We have the new resources. We, instead of normal par steel, we now have raw Sigma par steel, raw Sigma tritanium, and raw Sigma dilithium. And those you need to exchange as well. You can mine them like you can mine normal par steel, tritanium and dilithium. And of course you can earn this by your dailies, by missions, by hunting enemies or hostiles. And of course you need to refine that as you did it with the normal versions of these resources to get the refined versions of the new ones. And here you see there's a normal raw Sigma par steel to refined Sigma par steel refinery, and the prices are kind of similar to what you had to pay in the other resource refinery, but the payout is, well, I'm glad I make more with some missions and events and stuff, because that's quite hard-earned stuff, and mining is, not so easy as well. At the moment, I'm making enough most of the time with events and so on that I'm not mining this too much and can mine materials instead. But it's quite hard. What's interesting here is not the usual stuff that you have the raw stuff and refine it to the refined stuff. That would have been a very short video. And probably not worthwhile, because I'm not talking about the materials. We have 6-star materials here, works exactly the same as the rest. I wouldn't have talked about this. But there are some other interesting things in here why I want to talk about this. Because it's now a little interchangeable, the normal and the Sigma stuff, depending on what are your biggest needs at the moment. Because you see, you can exchange normal par steel to Sigma par steel. It's not too cheap. I mean, one chest of exchange cost 2.4 trillion normal par steel, and 10 chests cost 24. That's a nice thing, by the way. Usually, if you get more chests, it gets exponentially more expensive. Here, one chest of the 10, so to speak, costs as much as if you just do the one chest exchange. So that's fair. But of course, the amounts of 2.4 trillion par steel for 5,800 Sigma par steel tells you a little bit about the dimensions here. But if you are in some dire need, you might want to use that. And I did, but the other way around. Because there's one other thing. You see here there's the tritanium to Sigma and dilithium to Sigma, but it also works the other way around. You can use Sigma par steel to par steel, you can use Sigma tritanium to tritanium, and you can use Sigma dilithium to dilithium. And I needed to upgrade my ships dearly, and tritanium is something you are very low on. Despite having the monovene on max, tritanium is my biggest issue at the moment. And for upgrading, I urgently needed tritanium. So I used this exchange, Sigma tritanium to tritanium. It's not cheap, but sometimes in emergencies, I will not use it every day. I can tell you that, because I also need the Sigma tritanium. But you need, for example, 23,000 Sigma tritanium for 1 trillion par steel, Sigma par steel for par steel. So the price, if you exchange it back, is much worse than when you exchange par steel to Sigma par steel. So it's quite an expensive thing to do that. But I like that in case of emergency, you have this option. From my point of view, it's not an option to be used all the time, as I said. I only did this now because I was at one point also doing this. I saved material for doing that in the hope that Scopely come to their senses about Q. They didn't. There was just DeMarco, but still I spent the material on my ships, and I needed the titanium then urgently to do that at all. So that's why I did this. But as I said, I will not do this every day. But this is still a very interesting thing in case of emergencies, as I said. And so I really do like this refinery here because it gives you a little bit more flexibility. The prices we don't have to discuss, but it gives you some more last rescue if you really need it. And of course the normal exchange, that's the same for your gameplay as the normal ones. But the emergency versions in here are what I really like. But I also would like to know your opinion about this refinery. What you think about those back and forth exchanges, if you need them. Have you used that in cases of emergency where you were completely broke on some resource? Then please write it either in the comments below the video and on Discord. You know that everyone is welcome there. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.